may be seated so we can begin. Hello, I'm Dr. Anne Marie Kreitzarek. It is my honor and privilege to be the president of schools at Convent Stuart Hall. And I am, well, thank you. It is my pleasure to welcome you all, parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, family, friends, and of course, our beloved alum. Could I have the alums stand up for a minute just to be recognized? There you go. Woo! What an honor to have this commencement ceremony in this beautiful and historic venue. You know, following the devastating 1906 earthquake and fire, San Francisco was inspired to show the world how it has risen from the ashes. So in 1910, business and civic leaders convened to discuss making the city the site of the century's first great World's Fair, a grand exposition to honor the completion of the Panama Canal. In 2 hours, the city raised $4 million, and San Francisco beat competitors like New Orleans and Washington, D.C. to host the 1915 Panama Pacific International Exposition. Widely considered the most beautiful structure at the exhibition, the Palace of Fine Arts is the work of California architect Bernard Maybeck. Like other features of the fair, the palace was meant to come down at the close of the fair. Well, we can see that didn't happen, and how lucky for us all. Convent Stuart Hall students can daily view this beautiful, iconic building from the Flood Mansion, a view appreciated by the Flood family as well. In fact, the Flood family mandated that the completion of the mansion be finished for the family to see the construction of this fair and to view its daily activities. Well, we also come together with some history of our own. We celebrate the educational vision that began in France in 1800 and stays true to the vision of its founder, Madeleine Sophie Barat. An education that has stood the test of time, offering a timely and timeless education of mind, of body, and of spirit. In the constitutions of the Society of the Sacred Heart, Madeleine Sophie Barat declared, through a Sacred Heart education, that people would become ever more aware of truth, of love, and of freedom, that they would discover the significance of their lives and devote themselves to others, that they would take part creatively in the common effort to transform the world. In an ever-changing world, we might not be sure what that will look like or what challenges these graduates will encounter. The always prophetic Janet Erskine Stewart, RSCJ, observed in 1913, "It is not easy to write of things that are actually in being between a past that is only beginning to lengthen into distances and a future that is still unknown. Events move quickly, and living things modify themselves even more while they move. Therefore, a Sacred Heart education is meant to develop agility, adaptability, and resilience, offering timeless ways of being." So please, as we think of these graduates and their future, if you would stand with me as we offer a prayer for them. We pray that their journey will be filled with grace and blessings. Loving God, you have called these young people to life and gifted them in many ways. Help them to become all you desire of them. Lead them to choose the path of life you have planned for them. Open their hearts to listen to your call and guide them with your Holy Spirit, that they may have the courage and confidence to respond. Enkindle in their heart and the hearts of others the desire to make the world a better place. Together we will say, pray for us. Madeline Sophie Barra, pray for us. Rose Philippine Duchesne, Janet Erskine Stewart, St. Francis of Assisi. Amen. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to welcome Rachel Simpson, the division head of Convent High School, to introduce one of our speakers.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Today's speaker was nominated by her peers to speak on behalf of the class. As student body president and the editor of the student newspaper, The Broadview, Ada has made countless contributions to the school and to her classmates. Ada's love for this school is palpable. She is enthusiastic, generous, and passionate about Convent's traditions. With her deep appreciation for all the moments her Convent education since kindergarten has given, Ada truly embodies Janet Stewart's quote, "You are on the path, exactly where you are meant to be right now, and from here you can only go forward, shaping your life story into a magnificent tale of triumph." Please join me in welcoming Ada Lindy as this year's senior class speaker.
Hello, graduates, esteemed faculty, friends, and family members. My name is Ada Lindy, and I am honored to have the opportunity to speak on behalf of my graduating class. First, I'd like to welcome everyone to our commencement and thank you for coming. It is because of the support of everyone in this room that we are able to be here at the Palace of Fine Arts, and additionally, how our graduates have actually made it here. Traditionally, commencement speeches are filled with memories, inspirational quotes, and inside jokes the graduating class may chuckle at, though leave parents utterly confused. Though today I'm going to attempt to share the albeit limited amount of wisdom I have gained as I conclude my 13th and final year as a student at this institution. Don't worry, though, there'll be a few quotes and memories too. In September, I stood in front of students and faculty to deliver a speech at St. Mary's for the Mass of the Holy Spirit. As I was writing this speech, I fell back upon that speech because of the message I aimed to share. We as a society are too focused on the past and future. We seem to unconsciously avoid the present, always talking about how the weekend was, how much work you have to do after school, what you're doing for spring break. When someone asks me how I am, I catch myself shuffling through the things I have to do or have done in order to conjure up an adequate answer. Though allow me to reflect on the past for a moment. After all, the reason we even have a graduation is to celebrate the accomplishments of the graduates in the past 4 years. Every year, the school chooses a theme, normally a phrase or a word, that they see fit to inspire the school community for the year. The theme for this year, Explore, was incredibly fitting for our class. Convent Stuart Hall delivers an impressive amount of opportunities to students, and the class of 2024 dove straight into the deep end. We are a class of travelers. A large group of students didn't settle for just the fabulous trip to Costa Rica. We had a number of international exchanges, service, and class trips. We were clearly not afraid to try new things. Rather, new experiences were craved. Whether it be trying various bratwursts in Berlin, sea urchin in Tokyo, debating in Chengdu, learning traditional dances in the Philippines, or jumping off a waterfall in Costa Rica, our exploration was at the core of our high school experiences. But our exploration didn't cease internationally. We have a class of truly gifted academics, and it shows in our students' drive, curiosity, and eagerness to learn in and out of the classroom. When I entered high school, my goal was to dive deep into one thing that I was passionate about, to find what I loved and invest myself in it. In the fall of my freshman year, though, I found myself thrown into the Broadview and irrevocably stuck, a small face in a square on Zoom. I actually was pleased, not about the whole not being able to meet my classmates thing. I was pleased because this was it. The Broadview was my one thing. I saw it clear as day. I'd work my butt off in the pub lab, win a few gold crowns, kill my editor-in-chiefship, and wake up tomorrow a big Washington Post editor wearing a pantsuit and heels. Wrong. Sophomore year, I signed up to be an admissions ambassador. Head held high, I wore my gray ambassador shirt and red lanyard to every event, yapping about my trip to Madrid and the global citizen I'd become as a future IB student. Maybe this was it. That same year, I got elected as class representative. Student government. This was it. Wrong. To fast forward to the moral of the story, I didn't find it, the one thing. And while I may have signed myself up for one too many activities, just like many of my classmates, I don't believe it was bad that we became involved in these things. Because it was on the field hockey team my teammates and I found friendship. On the Broadview, we found our writing style. And it was being a part of student council or other organizations that we found ourselves as leaders and learned how to communicate our opinions. But most importantly, it was through these extracurriculars that we got to know the members of our class, the class of 2024. Because where would we be without the Mobley Advisory's PL and Buckley floats and the Thanksgiving float contests? Without Claire and Liam's Irish dancing skills, Jalissa's laugh, or Shelby's art? Or most importantly, without the daily mystery of Annabelle Rabinowitz's coffee cup contents. It was in these activities I found my class, got to watch as we learned and grew and were challenged, as we graduated from Zoom squares and entered the world of attempting to bond from 6 feet apart, to Costa Rica and all the way through to senior year. But it wasn't until the senior retreat, as we all sat in a circle in the rotunda room at the Jesuit Retreat Center of Los Altos, where I got to see the love that is shared between the girls seated behind me. The power of the say what you love about your classmate activity was not what was said. It was the fact that there was not one silent moment in the whole exercise. For the number of minutes that were devoted to each classmate, no one could shut up about how amazing their peers were. So much so that immediately following the activity, those who didn't get to say something about someone actually ran across the rotunda to tell the friend what they'd wanted to say. Incredible. So if we're too focused on the past and future, the lesson is that we must be more focused on the present. It is imperative to live in the present. Success and succeeding will come, though only through focusing on what is here and now. Here's the best news. That's exactly what we've learned. When we look at our pasts, the times in which we were living most vicariously in the present are the ones we remember the best. Take forced time away from our phones in Costa Rica or at the senior retreat. The very fact we remember these moments so fully emphasizes the power of presence. In our next chapters, we must continue to explore, seeking new experiences and continuing to uphold the Sacred Heart education we have been given. My parting advice is to strive to live in the present and practice gratitude for those around you. Honor the past and await the future. Put your phone down, look at the clouds. You'll thank yourself. And finally, never forget the friendships you have from Convent Stuart Hall. They are strong and unique. Cultivate them in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ada. My name is Tony Farrell. It's my distinct privilege and honor and joy to be the division head of Stuart Hall High School. The Stuart Hall High School senior, nominated by his peers to speak on behalf of the class, has become a strong voice in his time at the Hall, speaking at chapel gatherings, stepping into class discussions, and urging his teammates during games. I believe he honed these speaking skills in 9th and 10th grade because he became quite adept at talking his way out of trouble. I remember any number of times when I was about to lose my mind with a correction for him about some sort of community norm, and he'd disarm me with this very thoughtful and empathic, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I hadn't thought about it that way before. Thank you for your perspective. I'm sorry. I'll figure this out. Now, this isn't just charm, and he's charming. It is actually also about his genuine care for human connection. And I'm happy to say that his care developed into actions, and it's a tribute to his growth as a student and as a person that he was trusted by his schoolmates to be this year's student body president. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Giannini.
Good afternoon, family, faculty, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2024. Thanks. I stand before you today with a profound sense of joy and belief in each and every one of my classmates. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nicholas Giannini, and today I want to share some memories that encapsulate how truly special this group of people behind me are. When Mr. Farrell announced that I would be speaking at graduation in front of 1,000 people, I knew that this was not going to be an easy task. But now, standing up here, I truly feel that he knew the degree of comfort I have talking about this school and our amazing graduating class. A phrase that I would use to describe this class is making the most out of every moment. Starting with freshman year, wearing masks and face shields in class and keeping a 6-foot distance when we ate lunch was not the easiest thing to do when trying to meet new people. During free periods that year, we had to spend our time in the gymnasium doing our homework. I remember sitting there on one of the first days of school, becoming increasingly sore from sitting on the bleachers for hours, thinking to myself how uncomfortable this situation was. Yet, it didn't seem to bother anybody, and no one complained. We just sat there, playing video games like Among Us and Clash of Clans, laughing and making the best out of the moment. This leads me to our Costa Rica trip sophomore year. Although there was a bit more whining this time around, the trip was filled with unforgettable moments and adventures. One of the most memorable experiences was the 100-degree, 6-hour bus ride from our hotel to a hostel that was allegedly infested with cockroaches and other terrifying creatures. Despite the less than ideal conditions, the bus ride became a highlight of the trip. I remember singing songs with my peers, pouring water on each other when we fell asleep, and telling stories. The laughter, camaraderie, and sheer joy of being together turned what could have been a miserable ride into a cherished memory. Even when junior and senior year rolled around and school began to become increasingly more intense, having the college process weighing on our shoulders, this same theme of making the best out of the moment was still occurring. Although working on college essays and studying for standardized tests were not the most thrilling experiences for everyone, this community that we have created made those difficult parts of our day feel manageable and insignificant compared to the joy and support we found in each other. The camaraderie and encouragement with our community turned stress into laughter and challenges into opportunities for growth, allowing us to focus on the positives. As Jerry Seinfeld said in his recent commencement speech, find something where you love the good parts and don't mind the bad parts too much, the torture you're comfortable with. This is the golden path to victory in life. As we move forward, let's hold on to the memories we've created and the lessons we've learned. We are a group that knows how to find joy in the most unexpected places. Now, I would like to take a moment to thank the people who helped make these last 4 years so special. To our families, for guiding us through these 4 years of high school, supporting us not only financially, but emotionally, with unwavering love and encouragement. To Mr. Farrell, for not only being someone to look up to as a leader, but also as a friend, being available to talk whenever we need, or to just be a friendly face to greet in the morning. To Mr. Buckley, Mr. PL, and Mr. BL, for keeping us all in check, whether it's adhering to the dress code or maintaining discipline, ensuring we stay focused and responsible. To Mr. Guerrero and the college counseling team, for providing crucial advice on everything from crafting essays to finding the right college fit for the next 4 years, guiding us through the college process with patience and expertise. To Cam and Lexi, for assisting us with our injuries and providing a safe space where students can hang out and relax throughout the day. And to all the other faculty and staff, for teaching us and shaping us into the individuals we are today, both inside and outside of the classroom. So, with the little wisdom I have gained from being here, this is what I ask for all my fellow seniors. Embrace rejection. Kobe Bryant, one of the best basketball players of all time, has missed over 14,000 shots in his career, being the leading player for the most missed shots in NBA history. Have patience, both with yourself and those around you. Great things often take time to unfold. Continue our commitment to service within our community, even beyond our 100-hour quota. Find joy in the journey and maintain your sense of humor throughout it all. Life is too short to take things too seriously. And as my Nana always says, get at least 8 hours of sleep every night. Knights of the Hall, beloved Cubs, let's carry forward this ability to adapt and thrive in any situation, whether it's starting a new job, moving to a new city, or facing unforeseen challenges. Remember how we turned uncomfortable situations into some of our fondest memories. Congratulations, class of 2024. We did it. Thank you.
I want to thank Ada and Nick again for such an amazing tribute to their experience and to Sacred Heart Education. So can we just give one more really resounding applause? Ada and Nick, thank you so much. And I too have the special privilege of standing here and offering a few words of remembrance. We have some awards that we are going to give today that embody defining characteristics of a Sacred Heart education. And if it's okay with Dr. Kreitzorik and Dr. Roberts, we're going to do the awards after I've made a few remembrance. That's not going to be too long, I promise. Yeah, I'll be quick. But the awards that we're going to give today are recognition of extraordinary service to others, commitment to personal growth, and dedication to intellectual values. A Sacred Heart education is a commitment to the development of the whole person, as Anne-Marie already said, in mind, body, and in spirit. In the words of the constitutions of Sacred Heart education, again, words that if you were listening, I won't quiz you, but words that you've already heard from Anne-Marie, the founder of the schools, St. Madeleine Sophie Barra, hoped that each of you would become ever more aware of truth, of love, and of freedom, that you discover the significance of your lives and devote yourself to others, and that you take part creatively in the common effort to transform the world. As I've accompanied each of these graduates on their journey over the last 4 years, a few memories come to mind. I thought about bringing some props today to remind myself what it actually felt like to begin school at the time when you began as freshmen. I would have had a face mask. I might have had a face shield. And certainly we had all of those stickers on the ground that told us you had to stay 6 feet apart. What a strange beginning. It was an extraordinary time to start high school on Zoom during a global pandemic. Despite the strangeness of this beginning, I remember the joy of our first-person encounter. For many of you graduates, that would have been the excitement of the PSAT in October of 2020. It was the first time the high school was permitted to allow students on campus. Then, shortly thereafter, I remember the date, on November 4th, 2020, we were finally able to invite students back to campus for in-person instruction. This is the moment where I give a shout out to Claire Donahue. Claire, just give us a wave. Claire was the first graduate, or the first freshman at the time, that I welcomed to school wearing her face mask. She was wearing an oversized gray sweatshirt. Do you remember that? Yeah. And She looked as wonderful as she does now. She was happy to be back in school. You may remember, graduates, our special schedule, which, while many of you may not have liked it, it was the only way we were allowed to cohort you into classes. But I remember with a strange fondness, and this reminds me of what Nick was just saying about making the most of every moment, however strange. I remember how much I loved that morning check-in, thermometer at the ready, collecting your check-in papers, and giving you your day of the week sticker. You know that you may not, I think you know that I like an airport metaphor. This was the closest I've come to being my version of a friendly TSA agent. It was a very different beginning to high school, but how grateful I am that you embraced this strangeness with patience, trust, and most of all, good humor. To your families, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, and friends who've supported you on this journey, I also want to thank you for the partnership you have consistently shown as we navigated these tough times, times that challenged us all. The thought of this partnership conjures another dear memory. Despite the continued constraints of the pandemic, we were able to be together in Costa Rica. Your sophomore trip actually happened in your sophomore year, and we made the most of the Pura Vida together in January 2022, as Ada and Nick both referenced. We did need to run a COVID testing clinic in order to return to the United States, but it was so worth it. It wasn't until May 2022 that we were able to see one another without masks. 2 years of high school wearing face masks. But I imagine some of you may have been quite happy because perhaps the braces phase was still happening, so then you were able to reveal your beautiful smiles right on time. Despite the strangeness of the fact of having the first 2 years of high school wearing face masks, I think of your class, the class of 2024, as a class who dared to show up and to be seen and to be known. Thank you for that. So this is the essence of Madeline Sophie's cry, a cry she made often during hard times, courage and confidence. She said, we should make it our support in life. We should make this cry, courage and confidence, our support in our life of conflict. I think that's a different way of expressing that Jerry Seinfeld quote we just heard Nick talk about. As you move forward, graduates, with the inspiration of Madeline Sophie and the other religious of the Sacred Heart who braved uncertain times and navigated literally tumultuous oceans, may you remember the blessing of each moment in time. And again, it's amazing the resonance that I just heard with this quote in our speeches from our student speakers. Madeline Sophie said, "Do not look back to the past, nor forward to the future. Claim only the present, for it holds God's will. There are no difficulties except for those who worry too much about tomorrow." So as you graduate today with awareness of your God-given gifts and the significance, I hope, of your own life, may you remember that there is some special work from God for you and for you alone, and that only you can know what it is, and it will remain undone unless you do it. I'm getting close to the end. Sorry, you're being very patient. I keep reading about the fragility of teens in the mainstream media. And to be perfectly honest, because I live my life among teens, I'm really sick of those stories and those headlines. To those headlines, I would say, just look at the Convent Stuart Hall class of 2024. You have shown your strength in so many ways. Congratulations to each of you, to the brave and resilient class of 2024. May you continue to discover the significance of your life, and may you also reveal the love of the Sacred Heart to others in this world. It's a world that's waiting for you, and it needs you. Congratulations. And now to the special awards that are distributed today as medals. And students, when your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. I like this moment. It's a bit like one of those Oscar moments where you don't know who's going to win, and then you make sense of it as it goes. So I have a little description for each one. The Ursula Marston Award is given to the student who's demonstrated an extraordinarily generous level of service to external communities, whether they are local, national, or international. This year's recipient has recorded almost 600 hours of service, 6 times the school's service requirement. Her dedication to City Hope and the Richmond Neighborhood Center stands out, as does the creation and initiation of Read Aloud Buddies, a service to children and to the development of their essential literacy skills. Not only has this senior served prodigiously herself, she created opportunities for others to do so. In appreciation for her incredible service to the community at large and the positive way in which she's represented herself, her family, and our school, I am delighted to announce Natalie Tonkovich as this year's recipient of the Ursula Marston Award for Service. Congratulations, Natalie. The Alumni Award is selected by her classmates as the person who has most generously contributed to her class and the school community in the spirit of the Sacred Heart. This year's recipient is an endless source of enthusiasm and positivity. She's an uplifting voice for her classmates and for the school community. I remember this young woman being a leader at the community meetings we had to host outside around the swimming pool in Costa Rica. She's been a consistent leader at school chapels and assemblies as a student body vice president. And indeed, those of you who were at Mass last night heard from her at the Baccalaureate Mass. She is a leader, a cheerleader for others, and a joyful community presence. I'm delighted to welcome Grace Gallagher to receive this year's Alumni Award. Congratulations, Grace. The Mary Aloysia Hardy Mind, Body, and Spirit Award is named for Mother Hardy, the religious of the Sacred Heart, who with courage, fortitude, and unfailing spirit brought Sacred Heart education to multiple continents. With Mother Hardy's example in mind, the recipient is selected by the faculty and the athletics department as a student who has made the most significant contribution to the spirit of the school through athletic participation and leadership, while at the same time committing to a most rigorous course of study. This year's recipient is outstanding in multiple ways. She is a school record holder at 800 meters and the only girl in our team's history to break 2 minutes and 20 seconds, which I'm told by Mr. Buckley is an important statistical barrier in the sport. Thank you, Mr. Buckley. She is also the second fastest 5K runner in cross-country team history at 18 minutes and 44 seconds, and a medalist at the state championship to boot. Beyond these athletic achievements, it's her leadership that stands out perhaps the most. She's an obvious leader among her peers. She models attention to all the details and is dedicated in her practice and preparation. She's a fierce competitor. With her teammates, she's gentle but firm, guiding everyone with common purpose. And because of the respect she commands for her personal discipline and determination, she's also the emotional leader of the team. The other athletes look up to her above all. For her courage, steadfast determination, and leadership, I'm delighted to honor, she's probably guessed it by now, Deirdre Kenny with this year's Hardy Award. The Maria Elena Yuchenko Award is named for Lenny Del Rosario, class of 1980, and is awarded by faculty to a graduate who has animated the community with her energy, leadership, and spirit. This year's recipient is the embodiment of school spirit and an inclusive and eminently positive presence at all school events. She is a courageous competitor, one of only a couple of girls on the wrestling team, and a fantastic swimmer, which as a swimmer I really appreciate. The student said yes to participating in most school chapels since her 9th grade year. Her leadership in cultural occasions, especially Dia de los Muertos, has been a significant contribution to the school's spirituality and commitment to Cor Unum, the philosophy that we are bound together in common and shared human dignity. For all the ways she has led us, taught us, and cheered the community, I'm delighted to welcome Frida Cruz to receive this year's Yuchenko Award. Congratulations, Frida. The Faculty Award for Generous Service is selected by the faculty and awarded to the student who has demonstrated a deep commitment to serving her school community. This student has shown the most generous commitment to and pride in her school. She has led chapels, organized social events, cheered for sports teams, and said yes to a myriad of faculty support requests, including all that time she spent wearing that admissions lanyard. This year's recipient is unfailingly energetic and brims with ready enthusiasm. I'm delighted to welcome Ada Lindy to accept the Faculty Award for Generous Service. Congratulations, Ada. The Goal 5 Award in honor of Ari Reardon, class of 2008, recognizes a student who's shown a deep commitment to her personal growth and who has generously shared her unique gifts and talents with her community. This year's recipient has a generous and charismatic presence. She seems to be unflappable and calm, embodying serenity, thoughtfulness, and kindness. Her leadership is centered and makes room always for others. She is resourceful in the face of a challenge, and she possesses a maturity beyond her years. The faculty is delighted to award this year's Goal 5 Award to Orly Cook. Congratulations, Orly. This is the final award for Convent High School. The Faculty Scholar Award is awarded by faculty to a student who demonstrates a deep respect for intellectual values, whose commitment to learning is infused with deep curiosity and joy. The recipient of this year's award is outstanding across the humanities, science, and mathematics. According to one teacher, she deftly refracts the light of language, but her skills of illumination stem from humble curiosity and habits of diligence. Another teacher reflects that she grew to be one of the top few students a teacher could hope for in a whole career. A statistical outlier, you can tell this is written by a math teacher, at the very top end, an outrider of knowledge and skills, outstretching the boundaries of her syllabi in the most unassuming manner, an outstanding scholar in every sense of the word. This year's recipient has a steady grace and a stellar mind. From our recent Japan trip, I also know that our recipient is a stealth performer, and she's going to be talking later, and wows with the karaoke mic. I'm delighted to award this year's Faculty Scholar Medal to Anisha Hu. Congratulations again to this year's medal recipients, and once again to the class of 2024. Now I'm pleased to pass the mic back to Mr. Farrell for his remarks and special awards. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Farrell back to the podium. You want to do awards?
Yeah. Good. Or you can sit. Oh, I love that. Okay, but we're going to do awards. I'm going to just skip through. Okay, do some awards for these. How is everybody doing? I am having the best time. I hope you are too. I know when I'm in your position, I'm like going like, okay, how far? Okay, what? Okay, who's this now? So, but this is great. So thank you. Enjoying this very much. So, it's my pleasure and honor to offer the following recognitions and awards. First is the St. Rose Philippine Duchenne Award. Members of the faculty and graduating class of Stuart Hall High School honor one student who most clearly models the goals and criteria of the Schools of the Sacred Heart in his commitment to spiritual, academic, and personal growth. This award is voted upon by seniors and by the faculty, and this young man has modeled commitment to growth, commitment to maximum effort, and commitment to our values as a school. This effort and commitment was recognized externally when he was offered an appointment to the United States Naval Academy. Last night, his warm and thoughtful words explained how he's internalized the goals of our education and also showed all of us why we are recognizing Liam Donahue with the Duchenne Award for the class of 2024. The Janet Erskine Stewart Award. The faculty and administration of Stuart Hall High School honor a graduate who has modeled the goal of striving for personal growth in the service of the school. Today, we recognize a student who has shown resilience and determination throughout his time at the Hall. He's been a positive big brother figure to our underclassmen, trying to show them how to make positive contributions to our school culture. I experienced his care for school culture first back in the fall of 2020, when we had a very brief window from the San Francisco Department of Public Health to prepare our elementary school for a return to on-campus, in-person learning. It was a hot day. The elevator was broken, and I was paired up with this young man as we moved tables and desks and furnitures between floors and campuses. I was worn out in like 5 minutes. But I was driven to keep going because he felt so earnest about contributing to our younger students' return to school. When I think of students who have placed a high priority on service to the school, the first name that comes up is Ronan Liao. And I'm pleased to represent Ronan with the Janet Erskine Stewart Award. Stuart Hall High School Alumni Award for Service. The Stuart Hall High School Alumni Award is presented to the graduating senior who best exemplifies the spirit of service as defined in the goals and criteria of a Sacred Heart education. This year's recipient not only performed an exemplary number of hours, he also founded 2 service organizations here that are going to live on after he graduates today. Now, this student is competitive, but it never appeared that he was trying to found the most organizations or collect the most hours, transactionally engaging in service and to have a nice, pretty resume. He just seemed to do it because it's what you do. This year, we recognize Evan Marriott with the Alumni Award for Service. The Mother Aloysia Hardy Award for Mind, Body, and Spirit is named for Mother Hardy, religious of the Sacred Heart, who with courage, fortitude, and unfailing spirit brought Sacred Heart education to multiple continents. With Mother Hardy's example in mind, the recipient is selected by the faculty and the athletics department as the student who has made the most significant contribution to the spirit of the school through athletic participation and leadership, while at the same time committing to a most rigorous course of study. So Mother Hardy wanted her students to be resilient, to be ready for the world. Her writing suggests she had a great deal of zeal and fervor. Mother Hardy would be proud of our recipient's resilience. There were tackles on the football field where it looked like he'd been dismembered. There's like joints bending the wrong way. He'd pop right back up. If you need someone on the basketball court to break a press, someone who could stay calm amid the frenzy, this was your guy. This was their captain. In both sports, his will to go back in, will to win, his rare combination of stone-faced calm and combustive zeal was a force. I like that, right? Yeah, okay, good. All right. Stone-faced calm, combustive zeal. Yes, was a force in and of itself that his teammates were compelled to follow. And he willed himself through 4 AP courses, too. Now, Ms. Simpson shared last night that those who think of teens as wilting flowers have not met our students. Well, they certainly haven't met Timothy Rayford Jr., this year's recipient of the Mother Hardy Award. I'm lefty, too. I like that. That's always felt good. Fellow lefties, that's what we always had in common. That and one other thing, which I'll talk about later. The James Rowcliffe Kessler Award, in honor and loving memory of James Rowcliffe Kessler, 2009, Stuart Hall High School recognizes a graduate who found, developed, and shared his voice in the visual, performing, or written arts. James was a poet and a musician, in addition to being our starting third baseman and our senior class president. When diagnosed with cancer, James chose to live the final year of his life among us on campus. and we watched firsthand as he continued to share his very best with us, even as he suffered and battled his cancer. Our adult community continues to be inspired by a poem that James composed in elementary school. Be the wind chime. Let the wind blow through you. Turn storm into song. James valued art and expression. In the words of a colleague, this year's recipient is unique in his expression of himself as an individual. His art is an expression of who he is. St. Madeleine Sophie Berra founded the Society of the Sacred Heart to discover and reveal the love of God to the world. One of the places where we find the love of God in the world is in the talents of our students. And as educators, we are charged not only to help students identify their talents, but also to support their courage to display those talents, that love of God, to the world. Our recipient has shown his talent in exemplary fashion throughout the IB Instrumental Music Program and as a cast and crew and costume member and collaborator in a number of our theatrical productions. This year's James Rocliffe Kessler Award recipient is Xavier Callan. The Faculty Scholar Award is awarded by faculty to a student who demonstrates a deep respect for intellectual values, whose commitment to learning is infused with deep curiosity and joy. This young man's joy presents as a wry smile, the kind where you find yourself more curious in what he's thinking than what you're actually saying. He devoured our academic program in the same way he can devour an entire large pizza at one sitting. Now, because of his physical fitness, our recipient has a strong enough neck for the medals he is garnering. I am pleased to recognize Evan Marriott as Faculty Scholar for the class of 2024. Now, I feel really connected to you all. More so than usual. So not everybody knows. We were just sharing this backstage earlier. So my mom was the science teacher for both Mr. Pryor Lawrence and Mr. Brian Lawrence, and then their dad was my theology teacher in high school, okay? We just got these little close things. But then this year is kind of fun. Tim's mom and I were in kindergarten together in Bungalow B at West Portal Elementary, where Lorenzo Mori's grandmother was our teacher, okay? So I feel close enough with you all. We just got this family thing going on. I can tell you kind of a vulnerable thing. I know. So my backyard is full of weeds, okay? And so I'm pulling weeds this last week. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share that. I've been carrying that, I know. So I'm pulling weeds in the backyard last weekend, which may not be that interesting except for two things. One, my backyard is artificial turf. And two, I just did this in April. One of the thistles coming up, like it required a chainsaw. And yet, regardless, I battled the mighty crabgrass, the oxtails, the oxalis, the purslane. I was channeling Santiago in Hemingway's Old Man and the Sea. I was the old man and the weeds. But the thing that struck me was just how resilient these weeds were. You pull them out, you zap them with some crazy toxic radioactive, I don't even know what. It doesn't matter. They just keep coming back. There are probably some coming up in my backyard right now. So anyway, I thought of you all, dear graduates. Not because of an eagerness to get rid of you or eradicate you, but because those thistles and dandelions model something that I hope for you all as you step away from your time as students here. Indeed, you've shown your spirit and pluck from accepting, this one kills me, you accepted your enrollment offer about 2 weeks after lockdown started. We didn't even know what school was going to be like. You're like, I'm going to go there. I'll go do that there. So appreciate that trust, the trust that our students showed and our families showed. Nick and Miss Simpson already mentioned that high school experience starting on Zoom, 6 feet apart stickers, the daily stickers, the masks and face shield. It wasn't well past the midpoint of sophomore year. It was actually March, because we were at the state championship game, when it was a good day, when the mask mandate was phased out. And then I had this crazy moment where I realized I didn't recognize so many of you because you didn't have your masks on. It's no small thing what you've done, up to and including desperate midnight illnesses during AP and IB exam week. You kept showing up. You kept coming back. Except, of course, today. Today, you have to go. And I realize it is not the most inspiring thing to have a send-off message of, like, be like the weeds. I doubt Shakespeare's Henry V would have rallied at the Battle of Agincourt with a "once more into the weeds, dear friends." No, not quite a rallying cry. I leave that rallying cry to a story that Claire Fahey, Convent class of 2013 and current contributor to the New York Times, wrote in the Times in October. In her article, Claire wrote how she and her team from the Convent Broadview were in D.C. and Senator Dianne Feinstein, proud alumna of Convent, offered them a meeting and an interview with her in the Senate office building. They asked her some questions, she answered, and before they left, Feinstein's parting words advised them to be like the mascot of the city of San Francisco. Okay. Anybody here know the mascot of the city of San Francisco? Phoenix. Outstanding. It became our symbol after the 1906 earthquake and fire. And she would know, right? She was mayor during the AIDS epidemic. There's so many. She became mayor in the midst of riots downtown. So she told them that she long believed, quote, "Each of us must be like a phoenix. The point is that we all suffer defeat, like fires or illnesses or whatever it may be. We have to be like the phoenix and rise again. You handle defeat and you come back." Now, there are two key pieces here. One, she's saying you can rise up from whatever challenge arises in your life. But there's a second one. Senator Feinstein's charge implies that you don't just rise up like a phoenix yourself. You share your rising like a phoenix story with others to inspire others. Just this past fall, so our football team were in the section playoffs. We're down 4 touchdowns at halftime. It was grim. And Trayvon Hicks, proud alum of Stuart Hall High School, class of 2013, currently an elementary faculty member and assistant high school coach, told the players at halftime about a time in college when his team was down big at the half and they roared back. And so after the game, when our team was celebrating a spectacular comeback victory, Coach Trey charged the guys that they now had their own rising like a phoenix moment, that someday they're going to be in a position to use that story to inspire others to bounce back even when it all looks lost. And so, dear Convent and Stuart Hall graduates, you can either go with my backyard weeds, or you can go with the mascot of the city of San Francisco, or you can go with Coach Trey, whichever sits for you. It's my hope that as you make your way into college and life, you remember you showed capacity to be resilient here. And you can channel that capacity into whatever bumps there are ahead. We are so proud of you. Okay, now we've got this exciting moment coming up, right? We have the significant diploma conferral. And as we approach that, Dr. Harris, Dr. Philip Harris, and Ms. Bonnie Franza, they've come up with a musical espacito for us. And this is a way, we're not trying to dangle the diplomas are coming really soon, but not yet. We want a moment. This is like what Ada was just talking about. Can we sit and just enjoy, savor maybe, the anticipation of what is to come? So please enjoy the space of this moment with thanks to Dr. Harris and Miss Franza.
Good afternoon. What a gift it is to be amongst this great crowd of witnesses as we celebrate our graduates this afternoon. This next song is about love. It's about unconditional love. And our scripture tells us that for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Our scripture tells us that there is no greater love than for a man or a woman to lay down their life for someone that they love. And so I charge our graduates and all of us in here that we might find something in life that we love, hold on to it, but not only that, but then to give that away to someone else. This is Kirk Franklin's Love Theory. How can it be that you love the most unlovable part of me? How could you see your patience with me? God will never leave. Don't ever leave. Help me to see like you. No matter what I go through, everything's working for my good for always. He saved the day. He will come through. He won't fail, that's not what superheroes do. No greater love makes my heart beat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me. I don't wanna love nobody but you. 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 How can it be? Every one of my secrets that you keep, you covered me, a mystery. Your patience with me, God will never leave. Don't ever leave. Help me to see like you. No matter what I go through, everything's working for my good for always. He saved the day. He will come through. He won't fail, that's not what superheroes do. No greater love makes my heart beat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. Love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. Loving you will be the death of me. That's how it's supposed to be. More of you, less of me. I don't wanna love nobody but you. 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 I don't wanna love nobody but you.
I think that's effectively a prayer, right, Dr. Harris? So shall we say an amen to that? Amen. Okay. Thank you. I am pleased to be back at the podium for a moment for all of you, the moment each of you has been waiting for, which is the moment of the diploma. You've worked so hard for this. Congratulations. We are truly ready to commence. The religious of the Sacred Heart, the Board of Trustees, and the administration confer diplomas on the following: Claire Marie Abel. Karina Ray Fernandez Abernethy. Ruby Ramsey Aiello. Amelia Ann Alton. Ava Lucia Barbagelata. Samantha Buscemi. Alexandra Louise Fu Chua. Orly Cook. Lucy Elizabeth Corrigan. Frida Sophia Cruz. Devon Kenzie Dennis. Claire Marie Maha Donahue. Scarlett Emerson Farr. Catherine Santos Fox. Grace Gallagher. Ashlyn Lois Grove. Courtney Christine Hall. Annabelle Sage Kim Harris. Adriana Cruz Houts. Anisha Chen Hu. Samantha Haley Jackson. Tamara Mazin Jadala. Jalissa Etais Jones. Deirdre Mary Kenny. Zara Emmeline Auden Kirk. Elizabeth Radcliffe Klimek. Morgan Emily Lau. Ada Wilkinson Lindy. Charlotte Grace Lyon. Ariana Corteza Menayan. Sophia Grace McConaughey. Sasha Pejman Miller. Shelby Rose Orth. L. Sumner Paulson. Annika Claire Paulson. Seda Josephine Perry. Calista Catherine Peter. Isabel Ramirez Knott. Sarah Jane Rassick. Kate Fairchild Richardson. Annabelle May Rabinowitz. Bryn Keenan Slattery. Margaret Mary Helen Smith. On behalf of a Board of Trustee, Mr. Don St. Pierre, I'm inviting Don, a former trustee, to come and confer his daughter's diploma. Ready? Caitlin Jolynn St. Pierre. Sienna Coco Stanzler. Isabel Grace Sullivan. Sophia Ellen Tobiasen. Natalie Aya Tonkovich. Saybrook Catherine Whalen. Allison Kate Yui. And Kristen Grace Yui. I'm pleased to invite our faculty scholar, Anisha Hu, to congratulate her class and to give her faculty scholar address. Anisha.
Convent graduates, please stand. I am proud to present the Convent High School Class of 2024. Please be seated. Good afternoon, faculty, graduates, family, and friends. My name is Anisha Hu, and it is an honor to stand before you today. Today's commencement ceremony has been a celebration of our past 4 years at Convent High School. Today, we celebrate the classes that have shaped and strengthened our intellectual curiosities. Our single-sex English courses fostered lively, meaningful discussions of literature throughout the ages, as we examine stories, poems, and plays with a crucial eye for socioeconomic power dynamics. Our science classes encouraged us to explore the fundamentals of the natural world and humanity's impact. Our religion and theory of knowledge courses introduced us to systems of belief around the world and focused our attention inward on the influences that drive our decision-making. Our language classes equipped us to step into an interconnected global society. These classes impelled us to problem-solve together and consider alternate perspectives, and they exposed us to potential lives and careers that we may choose to lead in the coming decades. And of course, we celebrate the end of the nights we lost sleep to chemistry exams and tears shed over the Ivy Extended essay. Today, we celebrate the teachers who designed these courses and gift us such an invaluable education. Thank you for setting the bar high, as you have pushed my classmates and me to the best of our capabilities beyond what we could have ever imagined was possible. Thank you for immersing us in case studies and lab work that spark our passion to bring about change to the world. Thank you for challenging the boundaries of our comfort zones, yet still offering endless support within office hours and within your willingness to receive feedback from us. Thank you for inspiring us to choose the academic fields that you share through extensive personal experience. I, for instance, would have never considered majoring in chemistry if not for Mr. Mobley's incredible guidance and enthusiasm from our first day of sophomore chemistry onward. Many of my peers have found their footing in similar ways, and I speak for the class of 2024 when I express my deepest gratitude to all of our teachers for forever changing our lives. Today, we celebrate our family members for serving as our teachers since day one. You embed us with the values of honesty, ambition, resilience, and respect for life. You cheer us on at our proudest achievements, You nurse us back to full health at our weakest moments, and you offer your infinite wisdom to us always. Your love for us knows no boundary, and you have sacrificed so much to allow us to receive our diplomas today as high school graduates. To both of my parents who were the first in their families to immigrate to the United States, thank you for allowing me to be the first in our family to attend college. 多謝爸爸媽媽. To my grandparents who raised me and are watching their first grandchild graduate high school, Udayagang Apu. Thank you to the families of the class of 2024 for showing up today to support us. Your presence means the world. We truly would not be here right now if you hadn't driven us to the Palace of Fine Arts a couple hours ago, or if you had not enrolled us at Convent High School 4 years ago. And finally, today we celebrate the class of 2024. While thinking back on all of the classes and travel experiences that we have shared, I believe that there is one, or rather two, places that hold a special place in all of our hearts. Mayflower and Geno's at the intersection of Jackson and Fillmore Streets. During lunch and passing periods, these two corner stores have supplied us and our teachers with snacks and, most importantly, with energy drinks to help us crawl through another lecture. The drinks that define our class include yerba mate, Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper, Celsius, Monster, and Red Bull, just to name a few. And in a funny way, I truly believe that these drinks bring out the best in us, not just academically. Every one of you brings a unique energy to our community. I am incredibly grateful to have shared my happiest moments over these past 4 years with our class's record-holding athletes, amazing singers, world champion debaters, awesome parallel parkers, innovative student directors, and so on. You have contributed talent, creativity, thoughtfulness, grace, excellence, and humor to our classes, athletics, arts, and common spaces. You uplift the energy of our community to a greater extent than any yerba mate could, because without you, the convent campus would merely be a marble mansion with amazing views of the Golden Gate Bridge. Thank you for choosing Convent, for putting your best effort forward, for connecting with faculty, and for inspiring our underclassmen. Thank you for making the past 4 years worth it. I am so excited to see where life takes us from this point onward, and I have full faith that each of you will carry your strong and inspiring energies forward and leave your mark on the world. It has been an honor to share this commencement with you all. Congratulations, class of 2024.
The calling of names is a tradition commemorated at Sacred Heart schools around the world, and it's celebrated by our entire community. Faculty and staff names are called at the employee convocation in August. Student names are called at their first and final chapels. The calling of names recognizes that each of our students has been given a name that, on the day their family met them for the first time, held a hope for the future. The calling of names charges us as a school to do our part to help translate that hope into a reality. I call the names of the following young men who have completed successfully their course of studies on their way to living into the hope of the names that they've been given. The Religious of the Sacred Heart, the Board of Trustees, and the administration confer diplomas on the following. Oh, great. Aiden Tristan Arcillus. Guy Dominic Bays. Thor Cedar Bittner. And then this is another moment we get to bring a guest to the stage. Bill Brentani, one of our trustees, will be here to help confer the diploma to Aiden Pierce Brentani. Reagan Reginald Dizon Calaguas. Francis Xavier Gabusi Callan. Wyatt Birmingham Carroll. Charis. Liam Vincent Flynn Donahue. Jonathan Masaharu Fields. Benjamin Hirofumi Vicente Garcia Meza. Nicholas Corey Giannini. Luke Enrique Gutierrez. Will Hesla Seymour. John William Acosta Hickey. Sebastian Francis Horton Vega. Timothy Y. Chung Ju. Jeffrey Peter Carl Carsont. Miles Finley Klingbeil. Parker John Crumplich. Eric Peter Lee. Justin Lee. Ronan Andrew Liao. Jeremy Yi Louie. John Stephen Louie. Evan Jeffrey Marriott. Nicholas Gabriel McNamara. Daniel Zafir Montano. Lorenzo Paolo Mori. Kevin Dahau Nia. Malcolm Keenan Oakes. Luke Charles O'Brien. Alvaro George Parker Martin. Finn Edward Peterson. Timothy Sean Rayford Jr. Dylan James Reinhart. Justin R. Sadeghi. Seth Sarkar. Jacob Kent Savage. Giuseppe Sebastian Scala. Luca Tatsuya Seo. Julian Jose Sevillano. Kyle Nying Thaw. Samuel Lewis Tyson. Antonio Esteban Tiriot. Clayton Lick Vung. Nils Anderson Wallace. Matthew Waller. Victor Matthew Weiss. Braden McCormick Wilcox. Jack Corley Wing. Nolan Marcus Wong. Gabriel Samuel Ituri Siegel. And then we have one more special trustee conferral here. Mark Zanoli, former trustee of our Board of Trustees, is here to confer the diploma for Aiden Alexander Zanoli. Gavin Thomas Zeitz. And it's my pleasure to call Evan Marriott to the podium to deliver his address as faculty scholar.
Stuart Hall graduates, please stand. I am proud to present the Stuart Hall High School class of 2024. Graduates, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, dear parents, and my fellow graduates. My name is Evan Marriott, and I've had the privilege of being a part of this wonderful community since kindergarten. And I'm what one might call a lifer here. Stuart Hall has been more than just a school to me. It's been a second home. This community has raised, shaped, and helped me become who I am today. One of our long-standing traditions here at Stuart Hall is to give appreciations to others during our chapel community time. This wonderful tradition started in the school's early days and was continued by Mr. Farrell, who has always reminded us of the importance of recognizing and valuing the support we receive from those around us. As we stand on the precipice of a new chapter in our lives, I want to extend a few appreciations to all who have been a part of my journey in spirit of this tradition. Firstly, to my parents. Your unwavering support has been the backbone of my success, and I couldn't have gotten this far without you. You're why I have access to such a wonderful education, and I can't thank you enough. But other parents have also supported me this whole time. To the Gandhis, whom I've known forever and have had the pleasure of making many fond memories with, including our special Taco Tuesdays. You've helped me more than I can express and are one of the main reasons I strive to succeed. Mr. Mori, I still remember those middle school soccer days when you dedicated countless hours to coaching us, even though we weren't exactly the most cooperative and I wasn't exactly the most skilled. I think the only thing I perfected were calisthenics and building a strong core, but your patience and encouragement meant the world to me and taught me the value of perseverance and teamwork. To the Tobiasons, who have always been supporting me through the big and little things. Ms. Tobiason, your surprise pastries and rides during passing periods were legendary. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have survived those long school days without them. And let's not forget the countless Friday nights where you offered us a place to stay and enjoy some pizza. Your kindness and support were like a beacon of light, always helping me stay true to myself and become who I am today. And to Mrs. Limpin, your post-sport game snacks and food were a lifeline, especially the lumpia and star bread. You have always supported me since I first got to know Aiden in the 5th grade, and you have treated me like your son, and I'm deeply grateful for that. The faculty at Stuart Hall has been instrumental in shaping our minds and futures. Dr. Jorgensen, you were the first teacher to make me realize the importance of staying up to date with current events and helped me develop an unexpected passion for global politics. As a very STEM-focused student, this wasn't exactly my cup of tea, but it was a welcome change of pace, and I believe this speaks volumes about your ability to relate and engage with students in an educational way. Mr. Chow, I still remember the day I approached you about taking an AP Computer Science class in my sophomore year, and you were thrilled. You've supported me throughout high school by always challenging me to try new things and face new challenges, pushing me to achieve higher and higher in my learning. Your encouragement has been instrumental in my academic growth, and I'm grateful for all your guidance. Mr. Fathy, your mentorship has been invaluable. Your occasional lectures at the beginning of class, which I've grown to enjoy, taught me important lessons about time management, perseverance, and how to be a good student. Your dedication and belief in us have been a cornerstone of our academic journey, and I'm deeply grateful for your support. Finally, Mr. Woodard, your classroom was an absolute blast. I was constantly laughing and enjoying myself while somehow learning physics at the same time. And I can confidently say that there was not a single boring class all year, except maybe the slideshow lectures. But your enthusiasm and ability to make complex concepts enjoyable are unparalleled, and your connections with students are unmatched. I'd also like to thank all my amazing coaches who made me into who I am today, especially Coach Buzz, Coach Jay, Coach Perlman, and Coach Curtis. You've transformed me both on and off the court. You've taught me lessons that extend far beyond the game, like the importance of teamwork, trust, and resilience. Life isn't a one-man team, and you've shown us that success comes from believing in and working with those around us. Our Stuart Hall community is special because of this closeness, and I hope we all carry this spirit of collaboration and support with us into the future. Finally, to my fellow students, thank you for making these years unforgettable. Aiden, Tim, Luke, Seb, Liam, and so many others, you've filled my high school experience with joy, laughter, and countless cherished memories. Your friendship has been a source of happiness throughout these years, and I'll always remember all of you guys. As we move forward, let's carry the lessons we've learned and the bonds we've formed. I'd like to make a Michael Kean, class of 2013 pre-acknowledgement to everyone for continuing to support each other, to believe in one another, and to cherish the special community. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of this journey, including those I may not have mentioned. So many people have helped along the way, and I'm not even close to the end of the list. But here's to the future and all the possibility it holds. Thank you.
Well, now indeed we are getting close to the final few moments. I think you might have noticed that we don't ask outstanding political figures. I don't know if there are any these days, but thank you. Politicians or others to speak because we believe the strength and content of our own student voices are pretty incredible. So how about another thank you to all the students who spoke. And those that have, held leadership positions throughout the year. But, we heard beautiful voices at the athletics banquet. We heard beautiful voices at baccalaureate. And I've got to say, I don't exactly know what's going on right now. So what? Dr. Harris, what's happening?
If I may, I was backstage with my wonderful colleagues here, and we had an impromptu moment. And, I said, it might be nice to find another way to honor our graduates. So graduates, we hope that you might receive, and everyone in the audience, we've only had just a few moments to rehearse this, so we hope you might enjoy. This is Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson's Ain't No Mountain High Enough. So please know. Please know that wherever you go, we will be here for you.
Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe.
Remember the day I set you free, I told you you could always count on me, darling.
From that day on, I made a vow, I'll be there when you want me, some way, somehow. 'Cause baby, there
Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe.
ain't no wind,
And no rain or winter's cold can't stop me, baby. Oh, baby, if you're ever in trouble, I'll be there on the double. Just send for me, oh, baby. My love is alive deep down in my heart, although we are miles apart. If you ever need a helping hand, I'll be there on the double just as fast as I can. 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe.
We were hoping for the element of surprise. How'd we do? Whew, deeply felt song, though. Thank you. I think the truth is, we are so lucky to have these unsung heroes, right? Thank you. Because teachers in the world, I just don't think they get enough credit. They're right. Right. Thank you. And the bonds we form with these students are genuine. We love them, we believe in them, and truly there is no mountain high enough. And we will always be there for each of you and for each of you. So we thank everyone who helped make today possible, Dr. Harris in particular for organizing the faculty. Ken Savage for arranging all of the logistics in this facility, and the incredible crew here at the Palace of Fine Arts. And again, it's just a beginning. So a round of applause as our graduates stand and commence into their future.
Thank you.
A lovely day. A lovely day.